you overweight? Are you feeling depressed? Are you aware that alcohol is lowering your mood, making you feel anxious and destroying your life? Maybe you're worried if you don't fix this problem, your life could be ruined for good. Well, I've been sober for over 4 years and I've put together a list of 6 pillars that you must do if you want to get and stay sober. Quick introduction. My name's Ben. I'm over 4 years sober. I help high achievers get sober, rebuild their identity, and reach peak performance in business and personal life. If you want more help, I've left my link to my free 7-day sober course. Link is in description. Check it out. Pillar number 1, stop seeing quitting alcohol as a punishment. Now, you've probably done Dry January, Sober October, and I think we can all agree as soon as we start them 30 days, we cannot wait for it to be over. We just can't wait until the end so we can drink again. It feels like punishment. It feels like something has been taken away from us, which is actually quite funny because when we think about it, then 30 days or whatever it is that you've quit for, we can probably all agree it's the best that we've ever felt. Your skin looked better, you ate healthier, you slept better. You might have even lost some weight and saved some money. Our relationships start to improve. Our productivity goes up. The list goes on. Now imagine you times that 1 month by 12, maybe even 2 years, possibly even 3. Do you see where I'm going with this? The only thing that happened when we quit alcohol for them 30 days is that we gained. We didn't lose anything from our lives. I promise you, if you want a solution to make it easier, don't see quitting alcohol as a punishment. See it as a positive. See all the other areas that you gain in your life. Once you flick that switch, it'll be easier to quit. And one thing to remember, what you resist persists. Number 2, stay away from temptation. In the early stages, it is so important for us to stay away from people and places where we are tempted to drink alcohol. Now, I know what you're going to say, Ben, this is obvious, but sometimes we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. And if you knew this, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. We want to quit alcohol because we know that time spent in the pub or the club is time that could be invested elsewhere in our lives. So besides the fact that temptation is more likely to want us to drink, why would we want to waste our precious time on this earth in places that we drink but without alcohol? It just doesn't make any sense. Just avoid them altogether. We want to build a life that gives us new, exciting, and meaningful things to do with our time that doesn't involve drinking alcohol. This can be starting a martial art, building a new business. Maybe you want to start a family. It's completely up to you. The choice is yours. But the more time we spend using precious brain points, resisting the temptation of drinking, the less you have to spend building other parts of your life. Number 3, download a sober app. This is a very simple piece of advice, but a good one. I have an app on my phone, as you can probably see. It keeps me accountable, but more importantly, it makes me feel like I'm playing a game. I get to build up a sober streak, which funnily enough, makes me not want to break. The more days, weeks, months I rack up, no pun intended, the less likely I want to break my sober streak. Now, the best thing about this sober app, it will provide you with things like this that show you how much money you've saved. That might be back to front, but it says £23,000. It also tells you when you're going to get your next milestone. But the best bit is you can actually share these milestones direct to your social media. So you know them friends who laughed at you when you told them you were going to get sober? You get to stick it in their face. I use the I Am Sober app. It's free. Check it out. Next up, don't do it alone. the chances are probably that you've tried and failed multiple times. Don't worry, you're not alone, this was me too. I'd say probably about 3 years into my drinking career, I realised that I had a problem with this and that I needed to stop. I knew that drink and drugs are an issue for me, and I was always trying to find a way out. I had this realization one time, which is pretty sad. I actually thought to myself, because I actually spend all the money I earn on alcohol, cocaine, cigarettes, taxis, etc., I will actually never have any money in life because I was literally just living paycheck to paycheck. That seems very sad when I look back now. You don't want this to be you. Now, I tried so many times to quit, and eventually I did quit at the age of 30 all by myself, which you might say, Ben, this is a little bit contradictory that you're telling me not to do it alone. But I will tell you this little story. When I was about 26, 27, I had a friend who was going to AA meetings. I went along with him one time, and I remember we met this boy. He was about 24, and I remember just looking at him thinking, this poor boy, he's been sober for a year, his life is over. How wrong was I to think that now? I often think to myself, I wonder how successful he is now. So the point I'm trying to make, the sooner you quit, the better, the further in life ahead you will be. Now, if you can't afford a mentor, you can download my free sober course. The link is in description. It's 7 days long, and I think it's 22 video modules. But also as well, you can read books, follow pages like this, follow Instagram accounts, just immerse yourself in the positive sobriety world. Change your environment. Now, this is the most daunting pillar of all, and it all depends how extreme you want to be. When I was 29 years of age, I left the United Kingdom and I moved to Australia. Deep down, a part of me was just fed up of spending weekends in kitchens, in house parties, doing cocaine, smoking fags, and doing all other things. I basically just had enough. And I kind of knew in the back of my mind, if I'd moved away to Australia in the sunshine where people live a different life, it would be easier for me to change. At that time, I didn't have any plans to go there and become sober, but I kind of saw the way people were living. They were living down the beach. It was very outdoorsy. There was more money, and I just felt left behind because I didn't have any money. I didn't have any big goals for the future, and the change of environment actually helped me flick a switch in my mind. About 9 months after being in Australia, I decided to quit alcohol. The first attempt was 10 weeks. This is why you need to change your environment, because in my mind, I had stopped drinking, but I had not started to rebuild a new identity. What that means is I was going out with the same friends, doing the same things I used to do when I used to drink and take drugs. So it was only a matter of time before I went out with these people, I went to this place, I surrounded myself with cocaine, and I was using it again. That is why you need to change your environment. If you've got commitments, then I would just simply suggest not going to the pub, staying away from the off license, going to restaurants where there's no alcohol served, doing things where you're not around alcohol and where people are going to tempt you. Next up, we have remembering the pain. What this basically means is, as I talked about in my last point, I went 10 weeks without drinking alcohol or doing any drugs. What basically happened was I started to feel really good. You will start to feel really good as you rack up the days, weeks, and months. It's very easy for us to forget why we actually quit in the first place. The reason you want to quit is probably because you're not where you want to be in life, you don't have the body you want, maybe you're lonely. When you stop drinking, you're going to sleep better, you're going to look better, you're going to feel better. You can get complacent. You might forget how bad that you actually felt. So, you need to remind yourself as you get further into your journey how you used to feel when you drank. I promise you, if you don't do this, you will most likely fall back and start drinking again. If you want my help, as I've said before, I've left a link to my free 7-day sober course. I was actually charging for this, but I'm giving it away completely free. It's 22 video modules long. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know your current sober streak, and thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.